don't have any really good quotes to share.
I'll give you some. We can use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
look some
there
up
you
for
go.
you. Yeah.
There may or may
Keith
not be
will
one
show
at
you how
the,
to do that.
at the very end of this. I'm just kidding.
All right, that is the voice of Keith Flynn, our digital director manager, or I don't know what your title is. Director of digital marketing. There you go. I gotta remember that.
You know, I use ChatGPT and
Yeah.
I came up with a pretty swift one there. So.
All right, so we do have Keith Flynn. So Keith, thank you so much. And I'm gonna all you got to do. I'm gonna hand that over.
Yeah.
Just press the space bar
Sure.
and let you manage your slides. But obviously, ChatGPT is here to stay, and everybody understands the power of it. I think there's a lot of concerns in the sense of, okay, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want Google to recognize this as ChatGPT, and a lot of confusion on necessarily how to use it. So that's why we have you here. 5 ChatGPT strategies to stand out in the marketplace.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate being here. Actually, I think it's the first time I've been in since you got the new equipment, so the place looks good.
Wow.
All right.
It's nice to have you here.
I know. I hear my voice and surround sound. This is pretty cool.
And they get to see you too.
I know. Hello, everybody. Yeah, but good morning, guys, and I'm really excited to be here. And Mike, you're right. With ChatGPT, there's a lot of questions that we get from real estate agents on, not being called out or found to be plagiarizing, or just not their original thought to begin with. And ChatGPT and all the AI that has infiltrated all of our systems and processes and everything that we're using now is not meant to replace you, but it's meant to get you to where you need to be faster. And whether that's educating you, finding an answer to a question, resolutions, any solutions at all to help you speed up the process. And I know I work with a lot of new licensees, and they just don't know what they don't know. And so there's a great opportunity for them to utilize AI and the artificial intelligence that comes with a lot of these platforms to bridge that gap so that you can get to that knowledge base faster. And while traditionally we're relying on our interactions with our clients, our potential clients, the process. If I haven't sold a home yet, then I'm just going to be mocking it and going through some type of a role play. So the great thing is you can ask ChatGPT a lot of questions in the meantime to learn more about how you can enhance your knowledge base in your business. But just some real quick ideas here. There's a laundry list of why you should be using ChatGPT and AI in general. But for a real estate agent, automated responses that we find a frequent task, whether it's a cold call email or common most questions answered, we can help navigate and create content so that we can answer those questions a lot faster, whether you've got a template or a autoresponder that's going to help you utilizing that so that you can respond faster. ChatGPT has an app now, so I have it on my phone. I'll get questions via text message or email, and so I can just copy and paste, drop it into ChatGPT and find maybe a solution or 2 or 3 more solutions that I didn't know existed, even though I know a couple of them.
So my question is,
Yes.
you and I, over the past 2 days, we've been texting back and forth.
Correct.
How much of those responses are from you or from ChatGPT?
That was all me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I know at the top of the show you mentioned not using ChatGPT. So I was going to suggest one of the cool things about ChatGPT is, since I know you struggle with humor, you can ask it to write a lot of content for you in certain styles and tones. So I definitely encourage you to explore that. 24/7 availability. The app lives. It's always on. It's always available. The service is always there. So you're able to ask those questions from your clients and anything you may not know the answer to help speed up that response. And so that's really a nice bridge there for sure. Generating content, my favorite, crafting descriptions, posts, newsletters, titles, on YouTube. We'll talk about that briefly. Titles are important, eye-catching titles, keyword-rich content. For anybody looking to get into digital advertising and marketing, we have a lot of transferable skills from other industries that make it into real estate. And so there's a lot of folks who just don't understand the basic concepts of marketing. So ChatGPT has been a huge benefit in that respect. And when I teach my classes, it is now part of my class, whatever I teach, because the AI can really lend itself to helping you out there. Todd, I know you speak to this one, market analysis, providing data-driven insights for your clients. I've tooled around with some of Todd's stats, pumped them in there. While it's not live and connected to the internet, we don't have any real world statistics, but you can take existing libraries of content, pump it into ChatGPT and the AI, and ask it to analyze it. And so if you want to do a comparison over living in Phoenix compared to Glendale, whether it's a soft cost or a hard cost, travel times, traffic, you can do some really cool stuff to do comparisons in neighborhoods. And again, if you're a new agent, you haven't lived there, been there, played there, this could really help you out.
Big time.
Last one there, creating professional marketing materials and copy for offline and online. Offline can be expensive, traditional print media, door hangers, things of that nature. We want to put our best foot forward. And if we've already ran off 1,000 copies and now we're going to have to eat that cost if there was a spelling mistake or the value proposition was incorrect or the statistics were wrong. So it's another fail safe to make sure that you're putting out the best content there for you. So number one, property descriptions. This is a simple prompt, and I'm going to reemphasize this again at the end of this, but the more content we put into a prompt when we're using AI, and I'm going off the premise of the context of this presentation that for those who are listening, hopefully you have used AI to some degree. You understand what a prompt is. A prompt is basically like a traditional search on a search engine. So what I'm doing is I'm asking the AI here to write a property description for me based on some specific data points. I left it real loose for this example, but again, the more you know about the property, the more you know about where it's at, and the more facts that you have about it. Tell the AI all that information so that it can start to craft some pretty cool property descriptions for you. If you're not comfortable with writing a property description or you don't know how to use emotive words, this is really going to help you out here. And there's some examples there, not necessarily based off the result of that prompt, but just some ideas of where you could go. Luxury penthouse, 2 bedrooms, entertainers delight, backyards, very peaceful, large amenities, top-notch amenities. You can see there, you've got a lot of opportunity. And the cool thing about these job descriptions, back in my employment days.
Yeah, you might be needing to work on one real soon, pal.
Definitely. We can get into that too, right? The property descriptions you enter in when you get the result back, if it's not what you want, keep the conversation going with the AI. Copy and paste, rebake that description into the AI and have it come up with a better output until you get what it is that you're looking for. Social media posts, this is an awesome one for a lot of agents. This prompt here is pretty simple based on the property description from the previous. Write me 5 social media posts that can help on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Add emojis, hashtags, call to action. Yeah, right. And then keep the post 75 words or less. Tell it you want to write it for Instagram or for Facebook or LinkedIn. It understands those platforms and its algorithms. And so when it kicks out those responses, it's going to write it with that platform in mind. And one of the cool things about utilizing AI is I could tell it based on your responses, I want this in a table form. So it'll put it into an Excel file. One column will be your copy. Next column will be the suggested hashtags, and the last column would be the a call to action, or ask the AI to give me a description of a photo or an image that would go with this social post. Yep. So now I have what I need to do, and I can just go out and source it and find it. Of course, always take your own photos.
Real quick, before you jump to the next one,
Yeah.
I mean, so as we talk about this kind of stuff in our real estate business, agents are constantly busy with things. You are the CEO, the CMO, the CTO of your business. If you're not good at writing, or it's not your favorite thing, this is going to remove that necessity from your business. Right. But it's still AI. It's still a robot writing copy. So keeping these things under 75 words, trying to pump in as much of your vernacular, the way your voice speaks and writes, is important because you don't want to change that brand. And it's something that we see and talk about all the time. Mm-hmm. We're always kind of joking when we see those agents that find AI for the first time, because we read that post or read that email address and you're like, yeah, they definitely didn't write that.
Right.
So keep that in your brain as you're looking at these resources. They're tools. They're not to take over your voice when it comes to writing and speaking and all of those different things you're doing.
Yeah, and I'd also say, you can't rely too heavily on it in the sense of AI creates something and then you post it. You got to read it. Right. You got to check it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Again, at the end of the day, it's you when you post this, everyone, the expectation is these are your words. So not only reading this for clarity, content, tone, but keep yourself out of trouble too. We don't want AI to say something, what they call illusional facts, I think it is. AI has been known to make stuff up if it doesn't have an answer. And we certainly don't need to have.
That sounds like me.
It made up a court case to be able to verify one of its arguments. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do next week is my wife's birthday.
Yes.
And that's going to be my
Nope.
Wait, what? This is going to be my first experience with ChatGPT, and I'm
Write me
going
a
to
love letter.
and just say, yeah, write me a birthday card,
Right.
and then I'm just going to handwrite it and see whether she could tell.
Now, I have a class next week, and we'll get into personas. But you can actually load in your past writing and have it take on a persona, so it starts to understand your vocabulary, vernacular, your writing style, reading level. 80 right.
Third grade.
Third grade. 80% of the U.S. population is considered to be literate, and of that, the average reading is between 6th and 8th grade. So I can tell ChatGPT, rewrite this at an 8th grade reading level so that it's easily, it's more digestible, and the reader understands the content immediately. And we learned that early in marketing. You want to make sure that the message you're putting out there is understood, and you're delivering the message so that it's palatable and they understand it. And so we don't want to write really long worded or heavy worded copy, because it often turns the reader off.
So would you say that if someone could be much more specific in fewer words to be able to convey the actual what they're trying to say? I guess my point would be, we're always writing coming from us to someone else, rather than taking the position of what does the reader need to hear for me to be able to get them to the point that I want them to be at.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's another thing too. In the class next week, we'll jump into buying and buying personas and selling personas. So, what does your seller look like? What does your buyer look like? So that as you're writing this copy, or the AI is assisting you with that copywriting, you're going to deliver the message that resonates most with the reader. And that's and as Mike you said, keep working the content. Copy and paste, drop it back in, rewrite it with a certain tone, whether it's informal, formal, and we're not moving forward. One sec here. We'll have assistance.
We're working on it. Yeah.
All right, that's right. We'll have
I wonder what ChatGPT would say about this.
Yeah, I don't know. We can ask it.
Yeah, there you go.
Funny thing is, I was editing a podcast over the weekend. Thanks, Nick. And I inadvertently grabbed the timeline, dragged something over, and I didn't know what I did, and I couldn't get it to reverse. I was even doing Command Z, and it wouldn't stop. So I literally went back and forth for about 3 minutes with ChatGPT describing the situation, and I figured it out. Now you can search this, but then I got to read someone's long blog, and and I have to read about their trip to Ireland before they even get to the good part of it. It's like, I don't care about. I want the recipe, dude. I don't want to hear about your travel. Okay, So give me the questions and give me the results. So based on that, moving forward, TikTok and Reels, real popular right now. Great way to get discovered. Guys, got to be using video, and I know that there's a lot of us that are apprehensive about that, and I talk about this a lot in my classes. Video is very powerful. 95% of the message is retained when we see it in the form of a video. And so based on your listing description, now write 5 Instagram Reel ideas, scripts based on the property description that we worked on the previous prompt. And then here's some examples: DIY home storage tips. Get a sneak peek into the day of a realtor. Again, if you're new and you don't have this experience, this is going to help you create that content, get the creative juices going, and then you can even work out a script. Now, unless you're a good reader, I wouldn't recommend reading from a script, but go through it several times, just like you would if you've rehearsed your 30-second elevator speech, and get yourself into that mind frame and utilize AI to write a shot list for you, make some suggestions based on your description of your listing, and then, move around that home and shoot some content so you work on an open house. YouTube descriptions. So again, highly recommend you guys use YouTube. If you're not utilizing YouTube to archive your past listings, once the MLS falls off, then it's really up to you to have that content from your past homes. And so take advantage of an opportunity to get in there and do a quick pan, walk and talk, shoot, and then archive that home into your channel. Utilize YouTube descriptions and have it write an awesome description for you that's SEO friendly, keyword rich. Again, titles are very important, and utilize YouTube and write great descriptions. Again, those descriptions do index, since YouTube is owned by Google. It's the second largest search engine. So posting a video with not a very long description, doesn't embellish. It should have Nick, Mike, and Todd, and Matt, and full names, because as someone does a search for you, that is going to index and show up. So if you're somebody who's looking to get some exposure and brand awareness, make sure your name is in the description as well. You're the listing agent, you're the selling agent, whatever the case may be.
So can I upload audio? into ChatGPT, or do I have to transcribe the audio if I do a video?
Right.
And I don't want to sit there and listen to the video and keep typing it out. How do I take what I say on video and put it into ChatGPT?
Yeah, easiest thing to do is if anyone's utilizing any software, you can detach the audio from it and then upload that audio into. There's several different AI services that will index the audio and then write a description transcribe it for you. A lot of pay services. ChatGPT 4 was thought to have the ability to upload video and audio, but they didn't roll that out. I know it's around the corner for them. But in the meantime, I use a service called Transcriptor, and it's like $100 for the year. And I basically just take any audio, in this particular case, this podcast as well. I upload it. I get a full transcript with speakers and time stamped, and then I can utilize that and put it into my YouTube description. Again, and that helps with anybody that may have a disability as well, because if any content is in written form, then it will index for those who may have a hearing or a disability that prevents them from listening.
So a while back, I remember them saying that the AIs that they were using a year or two ago,
Right.
before we even knew it was on the marketplace, YouTube had the ability to read and listen to our YouTubes, our videos,
Yes.
without even actually putting the entire transcription into the description field.
Right.
So it does it still index that way?
Yeah, it still does too. And
Yeah.
then obviously you can chapter mark with YouTube now. And so you can, in addition to the full transcript, you can chapter mark it too. So if someone wants to get to a segment of the show or the podcast, they can just go right in the timeline and find it. The nice thing about AI is you have a lot of different services who are going to be utilizing AI. The thought is that ChatGPT is going to go away. It's going to become the fuel for the car, and we're going to focus on the cars now. So, you're seeing Google has Bard. You've got Bing with their AI baked in now. So search engines are going to be much more robust, act more as like an assistant. Hopefully smart homes, so Alexa will understand what I'm talking about when I ask her to do something. No matter what you do, Excel, Microsoft's putting it into all their
Outlook already has it built into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always ask guests in my class. I said, we've been using AI for a long time, may not know it, but Google kind of shook out as a spell check for me, in the early days, because you would start to type in a word and then it would auto predict what you're looking to say, or it's like, or did you mean, which I get a lot, and so you are seeing that was AI in the early days, and so now we're really starting to see it take hold and make its way into so many different applications when it comes to what we use throughout the day. Canva has AI baked into it now, so it can create content for me, and then I can go find the appropriate assets to make some amazing content as well. Last one here, blog and posts, emails, newsletters. So write me a 300-word blog post describing a luxury Scottsdale property. Of course, the more I know again about the property, put it all into that prompt, and then I'm going to get a great result with that. So whether I'm looking for titles, as you see here, or a full 300-word blog post, 300 to 500, your sweet spot still when it comes to blogs. And then extract keywords from that blog post, make it SEO friendly. There's just a lot that it can do for you there. And again, for those who haven't learned this just by, proof in the pudding over the years, you can use the AI to speed that process up. And it'll actually educate you and teach you too on why it's telling you to use these, because that's a best practice industry standard and so on. It's the titles are awesome. So whether you're writing a newsletter, offline or online, you can come up with some creative ideas, things to talk about throughout the year. We all are affected by weather or slow times of the year, peak times of the year, holiday sales. There's a lot of things that affect real estate. And so, again, an awesome opportunity to learn about it. Write a blog if you have some personal experience. Share that into the AI so it helps you put out a better content as well.
So then this is the area where I think I'm not going to say I'm concerned. I just don't understand.
Right.
Is in this scenario, I'm pretty much having ChatGPT write me a blog.
Right.
On our website, going back to an iFound Agent website, we have SEO set up in it. So we do focus on our keywords. So if I take a ChatGPT completely generated blog and upload it into my website and tell Google to index this, what are the risks?
So Google did come out and say that for now, they're not going to penalize anybody who uses AI to create content, but that can change, And as we know, Google changes their algorithm.
And they don't tell you.
They don't tell you.
Yeah. Well, you said something really important, Mike. You said, and copy and paste it. And what I'm finding is there is a behind the scenes code that ChatGPT has. If you try to copy something out of your ChatGPT response that you get and you upload it anywhere, it's actually coding it as a ChatGPT response. So one of the things you probably want to do is put it into a word pad or something, and then either highlight it, copy, so you lose the behind the
right. You can that rebaking the response, copy and paste it, put it back in, ask it to rewrite this to sound more human. Rewrite it at your 8th grade reading level. Make some suggestions on some images that would go with this blog post. There's a lot you can do. Change the tone to be sarcastic, humorous, informative, informal. You can change not only writing style but also tone, and it will write the tone for you. So so I do use the app a lot, and I have
for me yet.
Right? Yeah. I'll copy next time. I'll copy and paste Mike's text message in and ask it to write 5 sarcastic responses.
Awesome.
So, and then the last slide there again, just to reemphasize for you guys, the better the input, the better the output. When you're using ChatGPT, the quality of your results hinges largely on the specificity and accuracy of the input. Understanding and applying this principle will give you a drastically amplified agent success for sure. So the more you know, where am I going with this one? No, the more you put into it, the better the output. Tell it who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, accolades that you've received, awards, the neighborhoods you've worked, the cities you've been in, the challenges that you've helped agents or buyers and sellers overcome. If you in the investment, flipping homes, probate, whatever your area of focus is, tell it all about you the most you can. And we'll talk about this next week in my class. And Nick, if you want to hit that next slide, I appreciate it, buddy. My class next week, 1:00 on Wednesday, the 16th. We'll get into personas. We'll go into a live environment, and we'll talk about how we can go back and forth with the AI and get a better result based on you and what you're looking to accomplish. Not so much generic like I've shared with you guys here today.
Can you go over, I don't know if things have changed since the last time you came to present at our team meeting. The difference between the free version of ChatGPT and the paid version? Because I know because I'm a real estate agent, we are, as a industry whole here in Arizona, inherently cheap.
Yep.
So walk us through those differences.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever I teach classes and I'm talking, I share solutions and ideas. I'm always thinking cost conscious. So I always want to offer up services and solutions that are either going to be free or at very, very minimal cost to you. So the ChatGPT, the free version, is restricted by bandwidth or throttling. So what they do is if there's too many people using the service at one time, they will say that we're at max capacity. Drop in your email. We'll let you know when we're back off again or back on again. I've noticed that midday, like right now, would probably be rough because the whole country is awake and everyone's using it. What I found, though, later in the evening for us here in Arizona, as the East Coast starts to go to sleep, traffic on the site's down considerably, and so the evening times tends to be the best to utilize the free version. The paid version is $20 a month. It's the ChatGPT Pro. What that does is it gives you a more it basically says that the ChatGPT 3, which is the free version, gives you great results and quick results. 4 tends to be more thorough. It goes deeper into solutions, more complete, and you're never restricted based on bandwidth or use of the site. You can get right in, never have any issues. And with the Pro also too, they have plugins. So since November, when all this just smacked us in the face when it came to the AI arms race, you basically had we've had a lot of plugins now that have ChatGPT has introduced into their service, and the plugin now allows you to go out to the websites, so you can crawl the websites, drop in a website. I can drop in a competitor's website, have it analyze it. I can say, take the about section and write me a 30-second television commercial. I can have it do some analysis on a competitor's website and offer ways to
Kick their butts.
yeah, basically. I mean,
Outperform.
yeah, basically, how can I point out their weaknesses by highlighting our strengths? So not so much speaking badly about your competition, but really
How
highlighting
do I
what we do.
exploit this?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
So there's a lot to it. It's very powerful, but look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Yeah.
So join me.
All right. Well, I have another idea of how I could make use of it for my very first time.
No.
So what if I took the content of my wife's first book,
And like I said,
and then I had ChatGPT write me the sequel, and I threw my name on it?
Yeah.
Try it.
And
Nobody's with me.
try it.
happy
I am.
birthday, Mindy.
the nice thing is ChatGPT can also create an itinerary for you on where you can go and live, because you're not going to be able to go home after that.
The local hotels in the area. So
Local hotels in the area.
the ChatGPT system, it's kind of like the Cheesecake Factory. There's a tremendous amount of options and can be super overwhelming. When we talk to agents who are first getting into this world, if you've never had a bio written
Yeah.
for yourself, just start there. Like, get the free version
So
and
cool.
just type in your information, how long you've been in real estate, you're West USA realtor for this many years, you've closed this many houses, and just say, write me a bio, and it will spit one out. And the other thing that I see agents struggle with mightily, because you guys are emailing me a lot, email signatures.
Yeah.
Ask it to write your email signatures. Email signatures are one of the bigger reasons why emails aren't opened. If you can leverage a robot that is way smarter than all of us to be able to open emails, I think that would be something that you could easily dive into. And then we use it for macros now
You
for
talking about
Excel.
the subject?
Yeah.
You said email signatures.
Sorry, subjects.
Yeah,
My
okay.
fault.
Yeah.
Email subjects. Yeah.
Yeah.
We use it for Excel macros. We're asking it to do a lot of different assistant type work that we used to have to farm out, and now it's all being done.
So I'm gonna go back to signature, Nick, because I think you just laid something out there that everybody's totally overlooking. Is when you are, no matter what email you write to somebody, what is there an action item that you're asking them to perform? And if there isn't, what you should do is put in your email into ChatGPT and say, what are some action items I could follow this up with? Or, what do I need to say to get a higher probability of the reader's engagement? And it'll come back and guess what? Tell you.
Well, we've used it to, we drop an email in and say, please reply to this email in a polite way, letting this individual know
We're
the
not
answer is
interested.
no. Yeah, 100%. And so
Yeah, exactly.
and again, it's a starting point. It allows you to read a recommendation, and then you go in and you write it yourself. But it helps knock off the cobwebs if you've never been writing these types of emails before.
Yeah, and actually take advantage of, as Nick mentioned, with creating a bio or a little 30-second elevator speech, and all your digital properties have a place for you to put your about me, about us, your description, who you are, and copy and paste that and put it across all of your social media platforms, so you have that continuity. Because no matter where anyone finds you, whether they use Instagram or they use LinkedIn or they like Snapchat, you'll have consistency throughout all of your digital properties.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Keith.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Really,
absolutely.
really
I'm
good
telling
stuff.
you got to go to this class.
Yep. Yeah. So
We're
next
signed in.
Wednesday it's virtual. So go to the dashboard, look up the calendar, and get signed, or just go
right
to
there.
azrealestatetraining.com and get signed up. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Keith.
All right, leave everybody with the quote of the day. This was actually from Albert Einstein and not ChatGPT.
Good point.
Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Appreciate everybody joining us today, and go out and sell a home.
School of Hard Knocks.